Hey guys, a little different setup here. Obviously, I moved on from the toy board and we're trying out a real marker board here. So I kind of feel like I'm in the classroom. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing well once again. And just want to, as I usually do, comment on a couple quick things. Um, First of all, I know I mentioned something in Google Classroom about this, and I want to just kind of say it here on the video as well, and that is, when I give you these videos, you really do need to watch them. I know with everything going on right now, you know, we've got other things going on. We've got other classes. When the weather gets nice, we want to go outside, all that kind of stuff. But all I'm asking is that you'll, give me the 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes to watch the video in its entirety, because that's where you're learning this stuff. Like I said before, you're gonna have your first quiz next week. And if your only grades are homework and tests and quizzes, there's no team tests anymore, those categories are worth more. And you don't want to let either one of those categories slip. I've noticed on the homework, most of you have done fantastic, but a few of you, I could tell, just kind of threw some answers down, and when you do and don't get many right, you're not going to get that full credit. So I want you all to get the full credit, and it'll help by watching these videos. So anyway, enough about that. Here's what I'm going to do real quick. I'm going to do a couple quick reviews, and this will help you with tonight's assignment or today's assignment, all right? So here it is. One of the things I noticed on that last Google form you turned in was that we had a handful of people that either didn't understand or maybe just kind of forgot or didn't quite get it to begin with, the idea of a quadrilateral inscribed in a circle. What's the relationship between the opposite angles, whether it's these two or it's these two? The opposite angles in a four-sided shape inscribed in a circle always add up to 180, meaning they're supplementary. When I looked at the results from that 10.1.3 assignment that you turned in, I was actually kind of surprised at several of the people that missed that question, where we said, hey, here's X, here's Y, I think that's what they were, what's the relationship? And I was getting answers like X equals 2Y and things like that. The relationship is they add up to 180. What's the word for that? Again, I got a lot of people that put complementary. Remember, complementary means 90. They are supplementary, okay? So one more time, if you didn't get this right or didn't understand it the first time, if I want to solve for X right here, you're going to add them up to 180. So I would do 2X plus 3X plus 5 equals 180. That's going to be 5X plus 5 is 180. And 5X is 175. And clearly, when you divide both sides by 5, you get 35. So there's our answer there. Okay? These other questions, especially this middle one, I just thought I would do because I think they're kind of challenging. And today's homework, today's assignment, you're going to see stuff like this, all right? So let me point this out. This middle circle, as soon as you see a diameter, and I know I've brought this kind of thing up before, right here from D to A or A to D, that's a diameter. It cuts the circle in half, okay? As soon as you see that, you need to think 180. You need to think that's half the circle, the arc is 180. So right now, if I have to solve for X, and I know that we have, actually I said that, I didn't say it wrong, but I pointed out the wrong one. You need to solve for X. Actually, the diameter you want to look at is BE, all right? So from B to E, that's half the circle. So what does that mean about all three of these angles? They add up to 180. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. 2X plus 4 plus 3X plus 2X plus 1 is 180. Kind of running into my other problem over there. That's okay. Looks like we're going to end up with 7X And then if I take the 4 and the 1, which is 5, and subtract it, I get 175 coincidentally again, just like that last problem. And if you divide 175 by 7, you end up with 25. So that's one of your answers, okay? Now, the other question, how would I get AE? How would I get this arc right here? So again, you got to think half circle, and here's what I'm going to do. The vertical angle to this one right here would be the one right here. That's BA, okay? If I take that 25 and I plug it in right up here, 25 times 2, of course, would be 50, plus the 1 is 51. So I know that this angle right here is 51 degrees. The angle right there is 51. The central angle is the same. So now I know if that's 51, and I know that from B all the way to E is a half circle, 180, then what would 180 minus 51 be? Be 129. Okay, that's the key there. All right, hopefully that's making sense. The nice thing about these videos, you can rewind and play them again and pause them and all that. Hopefully you're taking some notes here, jotting some of this down. Last question, one of our more recent topics, we talked about that word tangent and how in this context, tangent means it touches the circle in one spot. It skims the circle. It does not cut through in two places. It does not miss the circle. It just cuts through in one spot. Well, it may look tangent, and I always say in geometry, never trust a picture. We got to use the numbers. So even though it looks like it's tangent right there, I want to prove, yes or no, is MN really tangent? So if you think back, I believe it was yesterday, to what we talked about, if you have a radius that is touching what we think is a tangent, what else did we say is true? We said that this has to be a right angle. A tangent will always touch a radius at a right angle. Well, it looks like it's a right angle. I mean, I guess the answer is yes. Well, here's what we got to do. I need to see if that's truly a right triangle. If that's a right triangle, which means that's a right angle, then it's tangent, all right? So how do we test if that's truly a right triangle, which would mean it's a right angle? We try Pythag. Is 2 squared plus 4 squared, is that really 5 squared? If Pythag works, then that's a right triangle, that's a right angle, and it's tangent. Let's see. 4 plus 16 obviously is 20. Over here we have 25, and clearly those are not the same. Pythagorean theorem did not work, so is MN tangent to circle O? No. Okay, so again, hopefully this made sense. Here's your assignment. I'm attaching to Google Classroom. In fact, if you brought this video up, you probably also saw this assignment. I'm attaching a worksheet. It's called 10.1.1 through 10.1.4 practice, something along those lines. You are to complete that worksheet, both sides, both pages of that, and show all of your work. Show this kind of work right here, okay? Now, for some of you, you may be able to just print that worksheet out from home and then work on it just like a handout I would give you. Or if you don't have printing capabilities, or your ink is out, like mine is right now, you can just look at it electronically and jot all your work down on a separate sheet of paper, like you would if it was the textbook. Either way is fine, but you must show all your work. And here's how you're gonna submit this assignment. We haven't done this yet, here's the first time. Once finished, I want you to take a picture of it, both pages, both sides, and I want you to attach that picture or pictures to the assignment in Google Classroom. I'm sure you've done this in other classes where you attach it right there in the assignment that I'm posting. And if you, for some reason, have trouble with that, yes, you can email me the picture instead, but I think most of you are probably going to be fine with just attaching it to the assignment. This will really help us for next week's quiz, and thank goodness tomorrow is Friday. We're going to wrap up the week with one more thing on circles this week, and then we get to relax finally for the weekend. So hope this made sense. As always, I'm here to help you. If you have questions, shoot me an email. But hopefully that made sense. Do that worksheet for today. That'll be due at 8 a.m. tomorrow, like all my assignments are. All right, have a good one.